Pocket Ecology, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers, by Rumi Michael Lee. Introduction. I would like to thank and congratulate you for listening to this book, Pocket Ecology, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers. This book will give you a good general knowledge about the essentials of ecology. Chapter 1. 1. What is ecology? Ecology is the study of the interactions between organisms and their environment. 2. What are abiotic factors? Abiotic factors are non-living factors. 3. Give examples of abiotic factors. Water, light, etc. 4. What are biotic factors? Biotic factors are living factors. 5. Give examples of biotic factors. Plants and animals. 6. What are species? Species are organisms that are similar and can reproduce together. 7. What is a biome? A biome is a large community of plants and animals that adapt to their environment. 8. What is a habitat? A habitat is the living place of an organism. 9. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity is the variety of living organisms in their habitat. 10. What is a community? A community is a group of different species that live together in a given area. Chapter 2. 1. What is a population? A population is a group of individuals of the same species that live together in a given region. 2. What is a population density? A population density is the number of individuals per unit area. 3. What is immigration? Immigration is when organisms move into a population. 4. What is emigration? Emigration is when organisms move out of a population. 5. What is demography? Demography is the study of population. 6. What is exponential growth? Exponential growth is when a population's per individual growth rate remains the same, regardless of its population size. 7. How is the graphic curve in exponential growth? The graphic curve in exponential growth has a J-shaped curve. 8. What is logistic growth? Logistic growth is when a population's per individual growth reduces as the size of the population reaches its carrying capacity. 9. How is the graphic curve in logistic growth? The graphic curve in logistic growth has an S-shaped curve. 10. What is carrying capacity? Carrying capacity is the maximum number of organisms that an ecosystem can support. Chapter 3. 1. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is the interaction between the biotic and the abiotic factors in a particular area. 2. What is the biosphere? The biosphere is the part of the Earth that consists of living things. 3. What is ethology? Ethology is the scientific study of animal character in their natural environment. 4. What is evaporation? Evaporation is the transformation of liquid water to gas, vapor. 5. What is condensation? Condensation is the transformation of gas to liquid. 6. What is precipitation? Precipitation is any type of water that falls down from the sky. 7. Give examples of precipitation. Rain, snow, etc. 8. What is a climate? A climate is the general weather of a region over a long period of time. 9. What is the weather? The weather is the condition of the atmosphere at a given period of time. 10. What is estuary? Estuary is an area of water that joins the sea. Chapter 4. 1. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the way plants make food by the use of sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. 2. What is a producer? A producer is an organism that makes its own food. 3. Give an example of a producer. Plants. 4. What is a consumer? A consumer is an organism that gets its food from other organisms. 5. Give an example of a consumer. Humans. 6. What are the primary consumers? Herbivores are the primary consumers. 7. What are the secondary consumers? Carnivores are the secondary consumers. 8. What are the tertiary consumers? Carnivores that eat other carnivores. 9. What is an herbivore? An herbivore is an organism that gets its source of energy by eating plants. 10. Give an example of an herbivore. A cow. Chapter 5. 1. What is a carnivore? A carnivore is an organism that gets its source of energy by eating animals. 2. Give an example of a carnivore. A lion. 3. What is an omnivore? An omnivore is an organism that gets its source of energy by eating both plants and animals. 4. Give an example of an omnivore. Humans. 5. What is a scavenger? A scavenger is an organism that gets its source of energy by eating dead organisms. 6. Give an example of a scavenger. A vulture. 7. What are decomposers? Decomposers are organisms that break down waste matter that are then returned to the earth. 8. Give an example of a decomposer. Bacteria. 9. What is a detritivore? A detritivore is an organism that eats dead organisms. 10. What is the principal source of energy? The sun is the principal source of energy. Chapter 6. 1. What is a food chain? A food chain is a diagram of a series of organisms arranged according to their feeding habits. 2. What is another name for consumers? Heterotrophs. 3. What is Euryphagus? Euryphagus is an organism that eats multiple food sources. 4. Give an example of an Euryphagus. Mammals. 5. What is another name for producers? Autotrophs. 6. What is chemosynthesis? Chemosynthesis is the conversion of a carbon compound into an organic compound. 7. What is a niche? A niche is the role of an organism in a community. 8. What is the photic zone? The photic zone is a zone with enough light for photosynthesis. 9. What is the aphotic zone? The aphotic zone is a zone without enough light for photosynthesis. Chapter 7. 1. What is the limiting factor? The limiting factor is the factor that causes a decrease in a population. 2. Give examples of limiting factors. Water, food, weather, etc. 3. What is succession? Succession is the change that happens over time in a community. 4. How many types of ecological successions are there? There are 2 types of ecological successions. 5. Name the 2 types of ecological successions. Primary and secondary successions. 6. What is a primary succession? A primary succession is when organisms populate an area for the first time. 7. Give examples of a primary succession. Landslides, volcanic eruptions, etc. 8. What is a secondary succession? A secondary succession is the succession after the primary succession. It is the succession on an already existing soil. 9. Give examples of a secondary succession. The renewal of a plant population after a disease, and the renewal of a forest after being ravaged by fire. Chapter 8. 1. What is symbiosis? Symbiosis is a relationship between two species that benefits at least one of the species. 2. What is mutualism? Mutualism is an equally beneficial relationship between two species. 3. What is commensalism? Commensalism is a relationship between two species where only one benefits, but the other is not harmed. 4. What is parasitism? Parasitism is a relationship between two species where one benefits and the other is harmed. 5. What is aposematic? Aposematic is a defense mechanism whereby a species uses bright colors to discourage predators or to show that it is toxic. 6. What is the Bayesian mimicry? Bayesian mimicry is a defense mechanism whereby a species imitates the structure and coloration of a more threatening species. 7. What is the Müllerian mimicry? Müllerian mimicry is a defense mechanism where two or more harmful species have very similar resemblance. 8. What are pioneer species? Pioneer species are the first species to start a new ecosystem. 9. What are introduced species? Introduced species are organisms moved by humans intentionally or unintentionally from one geographical region to another. 10. What are endemic species? Endemic species are living organisms that exist only in one geographic area. Chapter 9. 1. What is natural selection? Natural selection consists of the natural traits that permit an organism to be better suited in their environment. 2. What is adaptation? Adaptation is the physical traits, skills, behavior that permit an organism to live in its environment. 3. What is biogeography? Biogeography is the geographical distribution of plants and animals. 4. Define hibernation. Hibernation is the decrease in the body's metabolic activities. 5. What is predation? Predation is when an organism preys and feeds on another organism. 6. What is the case selection? Case selection is the selection when a population is at its carrying capacity or near its carrying capacity. 7. What is the R selection? R selection is the selection when a population is below its carrying capacity. 8. What is resistance in an ecosystem? Resistance in an ecosystem is when an ecosystem stays stable and in equilibrium despite disturbances. 9. What are disturbances? Disturbances are forces or events that make an impact on the ecosystem. 10. Give examples of disturbances. Human activities, fire, etc. 11. What is resilience in an ecosystem? Resilience in an ecosystem is the ability of an ecosystem to maintain its function and to resist to disturbances or changes in its environment. Chapter 10. 1. What is transpiration in plants? Transpiration is the movement of water in a plant and its evaporation. 2. What is deforestation? Deforestation is the destruction of forests. 3. What are humus? Humus consists of the decayed matters in the soil. 4. What are the basic compositions of the soil? Organic matter, water, air, and minerals. 5. What is the greenhouse effect? The greenhouse effect is when heat is retained in the Earth's atmosphere. 6. In the greenhouse effect, what retains the heat in the Earth's atmosphere? Water, carbon dioxide, methane, etc. 7. What are renewable resources? Renewable resources are natural resources that can be replenished over time by using natural processes. 8. Give examples of renewable resources. The sun, the wind, etc. 9. What are non-renewable resources? Non-renewable resources are resources that cannot be replenished over time by using natural processes, and they are in limited supply. 10. Give examples of non-renewable resources. Oil, coal, aluminium, etc. Chapter 11. 1. What is pollution? Pollution is the contamination of the environment with unwanted substances. 2. Give examples of pollutants in the environment. The use of pesticides, oil spill, and the burning of fossil fuels. 3. What is acid rain? Acid rain is a rain that has a high level of hydrogen ions caused by environmental factors. 4. What is smog? Smog is the mixture of smoke, fog, and other pollutants in the atmosphere. 5. Name one way in which humans increase carbon into the atmosphere. The burning of fossil fuels. 6. What is the hydrologic cycle? The hydrologic cycle is the process of water movement on the surface of the Earth. 7. Give another name to the water cycle. The hydrological cycle. 8. What is nitrogen fixation? Nitrogen fixation is the conversion of nitrogen to ammonia by certain bacteria. 9. What is the percentage of nitrogen in the air? About 79%. 10. What is the percentage of oxygen in the air? About 21%. Chapter 12. 1. What is the water cycle? The water cycle is the continuous natural movement of water that includes evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. 2. What is the carbon cycle? The carbon cycle is the continuous movement of carbon between living organisms and their environment. 3. What is the nitrogen cycle? The nitrogen cycle is the continuous movement of nitrogen by living organisms by several processes such as nitrogen fixation, nitrification, etc. 4. What is the temperate zone? The temperate zone is a moderate climate zone. 5. What is the tropical zone? The tropical zone is a warm climate zone. 6. What is permafrost? Permafrost is an area, a land that is permanently frozen. 7. What is the polar zone? The polar zone is a cold climate zone. 8. What are clouds? Clouds are condensed water droplets. 9. What is global warming? Global warming is an increase in the Earth's average atmospheric temperature. 10. What is the main cause of global warming? The increase of high levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Chapter 13. 1. What is pH? pH is the measure of acidity. 2. What is salinity? Salinity is the quantity of salt in a solution. 3. What are the effects of acid rain? Toxicity to aquatic animals and the destruction of plants. 4. What is sublimation? Sublimation is the transformation of a substance from solid to gas without passing through the liquid state. 5. What is deposition, change of state? Deposition is the transformation of a substance from a gas state to a solid state. 6. What is the atmosphere? The atmosphere is the air around the Earth. 7. What is territoriality? Territoriality is when organisms defend their territory. 8. Define ecological footprint. Ecological footprint is the impact an organism has on its environment. 9. What is dispersion? Dispersion is the way living organisms are scattered in a given area. 10. What is cohort? Cohort is the study of a group of organisms of the same species that share a common characteristic, for example, species that are born the same year. Chapter 14. 1. Define phylogeny. Phylogeny is the study of the history and development of evolution. 2. Define taxonomy. Taxonomy is the naming and/or classifying of organisms. 3. What is binomial? Binomial is having two names. 4. Define homology. Homology is the similarity between structures of organisms. 5. What is an ecotone? An ecotone is an ecological transitional zone between two ecosystems. 6. What is conservation biology? Conservation biology is the biology that aims to preserve biodiversity. 7. What is restoration ecology? Restoration ecology is the study that aims at repairing the damage made to the ecosystem or creating a new ecosystem in a region. 8. What are endoparasites? Endoparasites are parasites that live inside its host body. 9. Give an example of an endoparasite. Plasmodium falciparum. 10. What are ectoparasites? Ectoparasites are parasites that live outside its host body. 11. Give an example of an ectoparasite. Pullix irritans. Conclusion. Thank you once again for listening to this book. I hope it has helped you gain more knowledge in ecology.